Hello and welcome to the 10th video in the composition series Velvet Grand, named after one of the presets used in the keyboard. So this little tune started as me playing around with a G major 2-5-1. That's the chord progression. So that's a jazz style minor second, major fifth to the major 1, which in this case in G major is G. I kept the chord progression on this one at just the 2-5. So we have the A minor 7 and then the D7 chord. We'll take a listen to that and the melody, and then we'll see how the song built off of this. So this is a little chord, and I'll call it a bouncy melody, which fills in the space where the chords are not playing. And I thought this sounded nice, the sustained chords and the little running melody. The next item I layered is this droning kind of chords, which I really think fills in the sound, which is really just the A minor 7 and D dominant 7 played as whole notes. And it really almost adds that lyrical kind of voice to it, which I think is really nice, and it has the nice wobble to it, the beautiful organ sound. And then to highlight the underlying piano here and chord rhythm, I added the bass to kind of double up on it. So I'll start over here. And you can hear the bass, the little mini walking line. So that's with the accompanying with those longer chords. And here's how it sounds with the original piano melody. Here's everything back together. So I think that all complements each other. One of the goals I had in this one was to change how the rhythm of that 2-5-1 chords. As I get better at piano, I try to make sure I have nice hand independence and vary the rhythm on the chords. And what's interesting is actually in the last video we talked about not doubling up on the roots, and ironically this video, so that was in the 9th video, this is the 10th video, I actually use the root in the melody, but I think what makes it interesting is it's a little bit bouncy, so it bounces between and is more of a rhythmic variation than a harmony variation. So what I mean by that is that in this case, because it fills in the gaps, I'll show like a little example here. I'll turn on my piano and let that get set up. But because there's space and a different rhythm, it allows for more variation, so it doesn't just sound doubling up on those octaves. And I'll show a little example of that. It bounces between. So it's not just layered on top like this. And you'll hear like the octave bouncing in songs in electronic music. So that's very interesting that in the last video with the simple C triad and the melody, we wanted to play the third, but in this one, because there's space and distance and the rhythm's different, it's interesting how you can actually incorporate it and it doesn't sound muddled or overlayered. So actually in this one I wanted to underscore the underlying chords on top of that droning nice little organ. This is the Velvet Grand preset on the Nord Electro 6. And then the organ is the Silence MK1. Which really sounds nice. And I never played the G, but that resolves too. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next one.